Floor is yours.
I'm gonna get them back, man. But I don't know how many people listen to Neo Soul, but I was cleaning up the house over the weekend, cleaning out the garage, and then this song came on by Erica Badu, and I don't know if you know it, but it's Four Leaf Clover.
Okay.
If you bet your Four Leaf Clover, and I can't say too much because I ain't trying to get copyrights, but Four Leaf Clovers. Then the Celtics go over there and they do this again. I don't know why the Pacers just keep. The Pacers need a closer. They need a four leaf closer. That's what they need. But in this case, we're gonna talk about these 4-0 clovers, and I ain't talking about bring it on. So close out the series. I really thought it was gonna go 7, man. I had cookies on this one, man. I thought I was really gonna make the jump. Just wanted to make the jump. Now I'm right here chasing these two guys, man. These two guys over here. Anyway, it's not about me. It's about Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday and Jason Tatum, if he's still on the court. I don't know. Anyway, the Celtics rally late again to close out the 4-0 sweep on the Eastern Conference Finals. And here they go again, making it to the finals. You got to react. I don't know what's really the reaction because I think for the most part, a lot of us had the Celtics making it here.
Mm-hmm.
But the road they traveled to get here is really what the reaction is. So I would say Dave, because if Jimmy Butler was here, I don't think we'd be talking about the Celtics. But how you feeling?
So, for me, like I said, I expected this. I expected them to get to this point. Now, I think what you were alluding to is the difficulty of to get here. I don't think anyone did not pick them to get here. I think and then when the season started or before the season started, people were picking the Bucks because they went and got Dame and everything. But most of us in the chat were like, I don't know. They lost defense. They lost defense, and that's something that's going to be critical when it comes to winning a championship. And if you look at the teams that made it all the way, they were one of the best defensive teams in the playoffs. And the Celtics were definitely one of those, and not the best. You got the Dallas Mavericks up there, whose defense has been top notch since March. So you got that there. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves, who had the best defense all year. So you got that. Then the Celtics were also top 5 in defense as well. So the Celtics have done what they were supposed to do, but it didn't look like what we thought it would because star players were out. With Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier, and some people say Josh Richardson. I don't think that would have made a big difference. but Terry Rozier and Jimmy Butler being out definitely made it a lot easier for them to get past Miami. Not saying that they wouldn't have, but it did make it easier. Then when they would go up against the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jared Allen is already not playing, so you got their best center that's not out there. Then was it Donovan Mitchell ends up getting hurt and misses the last 2 games, so you got that to go as well.
You pulled a Pat Riley just now.
Yeah, I had gotta handle things. So then you got to think about all the other things that happened just with how the series went. Like they almost lost the game with Donovan Mitchell being out. 3 of the games in the Pacers were very close to where they were down double digits, but they came back and routed and win. Just imagine if the Pacers were able to close out all 3 of those games. This would be a totally different series. The Pacers would be up 3-1 right now if we look at how things happen.
Okay.
What's up, Big O? Shout out to Cardo with the member for 10 months. Y'all, it's about to be a year.
I know.
It's about to be a year. That's crazy. What's up, fellas? We here. Lonzo Ball coming back next year. Meet me in the ECF. All right. Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. Hashtag Zim defense. About to go crazy. For y'all don't know that's Mike Zimmer, the Cowboys' new defensive coordinator. And Chicago Sky, let's build a bucket tonight. 3-2 loading.
Hey, Cardo. Appreciate you with super chat. I want you to answer this question in the chat though. How do you feel about picking up Chris Paul coming off the bench behind Lonzo? Go ahead, Dave.
He might start.
Good question. Start.
Lonzo might not play. Yo.
Yeah, Lonzo been playing like 2 years. He put a John Wall on the board. Go ahead, Dave.
No. But yeah, so people will, if you look at how things played out, just if the Pacers were able to at least close out those 3 games, then the series would still be going on right now. But that's not what happened. What happened is that the Clippers are the team. I mean, not the Clippers, the Celtics are the team that they've been here before. If you look at this entire team, they've all been. The only new ones is maybe Chris Porzingis. He's the only one, but he didn't even play, so you can't count him. Hauser's another guy that you kind of sort of got to count because he's never gotten to the finals. But if you look at everyone else, Drew Holiday is already a champion. Jason Tatum's been to the finals. Al Horford was in the finals. Peyton Pritchard was on that team as well, so you got to count him as well. If you look at the players on this team, they were all ready to come to this moment. This is something that they were fighting for. They were there 2 years ago. They lost last year as well. And mama, we're going to have some issues. I'm sorry, but we're going to have some issues. We're going to have some big issues now.
Oh,
I can't believe you just said that.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. That really just sidetracked me.
You don't know what to say now.
I don't. So the road to get here has been a cakewalk, kind of, sort of. But I don't think anyone here did not expect them to get to this point. I think we all expected this to happen. It's just it made it a lot easier when, like I said before, like when the players are not there. But the Celtics did what they were supposed to do. Jaylen Brown was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, deservedly so. Jason Tatum was right behind them. They both were phenomenal in this series, right? That just came up. Drew Holiday made key play after key play after key play. Al Horford, as they say, grandpa or old man, did what he did, making his corner threes. They did everything they were supposed to do. And Derek White didn't even have a great series, but he had a great defensive series. So that's one thing that you gotta account for that as well. But congratulations to the Celtics. Now you got to finish the job.
So I'm gonna say the best for last because I know, Joe, you got a lot to say. The only reason I'm saying that because I know you ride around, you hear from these fans all day, so you have a different perspective of the environment of what's going on up there. All we got is Teddy, Jovan, Mike, Pac the Cod, Harvard, guys. Boston Celtics in 5, baby. They didn't have to worry about 5. They did it in 4. This right here lets you know they thought they was gonna lose at least game 2. But technically, they could have lost game 1, game 3. And game 4, but I mean, it just happens when you see the finish line is almost there. Now, as far as this team, I picked them early to say they can come out the East. I mean, like you said, we do our preseason predictions, we do our mid-season predictions, we do our after All-Star game predictions. Like that's just how long the NBA season is and how many changes happen. But once they got Porzingis, we was like, well, here you go. Here's that extra score that you need, and it may help you get over that hump with Miami. I don't know about that one, though, man. I don't know about that. You got me now. You got me. Look, I don't know. The Mavs might have something to say about that, but man, yeah, Dave. Now I know how you feel. But to see this team actually show up in a series where they know they was going up against a team that was not matched with them or trying to play their hardest and go out and actually close it when they were supposed to and be down double digits in 2 of the 3 of the games, or maybe all 3 of those games that I just named, and still find a way to close it out. Shout out to Drew Holiday for making the big plays, like you said, Dave. Shout out to Derek White. Jaylen Brown stepping up as a leader when it was time to. He's like, all right, somebody has to make the plays. So if you're not going to make them, I'm going to make them. And the same thing comes from Jason Tatum for setting his ego to the side to say, hey, if it's not my night, let my man shine. Because technically that could start something in the locker room where they like, well, isn't this your team? Like, don't even say it. And I just want to address one thing too with J-Mo. Technically, they are getting some undeserved slander, but it's the same slander that LeBron used to get every time he went to the finals in the East. It was just like, well, he's in the East. Of course, he's going to always make it to the finals. Instead of saying that, hey, he had to play some good teams to get there outside of the Raptors. But that's a personal thing between the Wizards and the Raptors. But yeah, it's the same slander that LeBron received when he kept making it to the finals back to back to back in the East. They was like, the East is so easy that he can just keep going back. So Celtics, welcome.
Yeah, man. So first, I want to say congrats to the Boston Celtics, man, for making it to the NBA Finals. And Teddy, I'm gonna have y'all back today. You're gonna like me after this segment, okay, Teddy? I got you. So we all know the Celtics, right? The Celtics, round 1, no Jimmy Butler, no Terry Rozier, like they said. Round 2, no Donovan Mitchell for game 4 and 5. Round 3, no Halliburton for game 3 and game 4. But they made it to the conference finals. People say, "Oh, it's a cakewalk." But let me remind the people something real quick. Since the bubble, right? Since the bubble, we're gonna include the bubble year. The Celtics have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals every single year, right? Except for 1 year when Jaylen Brown got hurt. Jaylen Brown wasn't there in the playoffs. They played Brooklyn with KD, Harden, and Kyrie, and they lost 4-1. But Jaylen Brown wasn't there. But nobody said, "Oh, they had Jaylen Brown. They probably would have beat the Nets." Nobody said that. We took the Nets dub and we let them roll with it, right? Outside, since the bubble, right? Don't count the bubble. The only time they didn't make it to the finals is when they had a significant injury. Jaylen Brown, and don't forget, Game 7 against Miami, Jason Tatum got hurt. But nobody said if Tatum wasn't hurt, they would have beat Miami. We gave Miami the dub, even though they won 3 games in a row, and Tatum came out aggressive and got hurt. So we can't kill the Celtics for their run, which we already knew they were going to win anyway. We already had them favorites to win the East. Dave probably has something to say about that if Jimmy Butler was healthy. But we all had them winning the East. So it's not like they went 5 or 6 games, 7 games. They took care of Bama's in 5 and 4. And in the one game, the Cavs and the Miami Heat won, they went crazy from 3. They went crazy, especially Miami. So, and people say, "Oh, were they tested?" I think they kind of were, because obviously the Indiana Pacers, they don't play. I mean, they didn't have Tyrese Halliburton, but the Pacers put that pressure on you, and it was twice when the Pacers were up by 8 points with 3 minutes or less in the game, back-to-back games, and they found a way to close those games. And what was our biggest pet peeve of Tatum and the whole team? Closing out games. And we saw them close out both of those games. Also, the Celtics were 19th in pace in the NBA. They literally had the same amount of they beat the Pacers at their game. The pace were identical this series, and they won. So they put it out to me. Tatum, let me give you your flowers, my man. Jokic, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Jason Kidd. Tatum joins our group, the only NBA player to lead his team in points, rebounds, and assists and make it to the finals. We said he has a stacked team, right? He has a stacked team, but in this stacked team, he gets lost. But in this stacked team, he led them in points, rebounds, and assists. So
number 4 MVP.
We gotta give him his props. But I'm gonna give Tatum props though. He lets JB cook. He don't step on JB toes. He sees JB's hot. He feeds JB's the ball. He don't ask for the ball like when JB's hot, right? I want to give Jaylen Brown some props too. He didn't make All NBA. I didn't put him on All NBA ballot. But since the All NBA came out, he's been averaging 31 points a game, shooting 52% from the field. So the Celtics, man, I feel like they handled business how they should have. I know we are so hard on them. They had the most blowouts this playoffs. Nobody's talking about it, right? They got the biggest margin of victory. Nobody's talking about it. But when they lose, we hop on them. When it's a close game, we on top of them. But at the end of the day, they gotta win. They gotta beat the Mavs. All this don't mean nothing if they don't beat the Mavs. And last but not least, shout out to Joe Mazzulla. You know, I'm living here. He's from Rhode Island, Johnson, Rhode Island. Shout out to Rhode Island.
Yeah, I'm glad you finished what you were saying, Joe, because I'm like, yeah, all that they doing, you got to win.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they got to win, for sure.
Got to win it all. Got to win it all against a team that people deem to be more competitive. And it's not, like I said, it's not that no one didn't expect him to get here. It just wasn't impressive to everyone else because of who they faced. And like Tomo said, it's the same thing for LeBron. The only thing with LeBron is LeBron didn't deal with a lot of injuries. It's just LeBron was just so freaking good against everyone else. They're just like, all right, LeBron is too easy.
LeBron didn't go against Kyrie Irving. People don't remember. People forget about that. Kyrie Irving didn't play in that Celtics series. They went 7 games.
I mean,
but nobody say, oh, they had Kyrie. No, they get LeBron his props for winning that series. Like, Kyrie didn't play, bro. If Kyrie would have played, we might not be in the finals. Oh, man.
I don't know. It probably would have been the same way.
Tomo, that Celtics team missed 22 threes in a row, I think, in that game. You think Kyrie gonna let that rock? Kyrie is a playoff player. That Celtics team choked. They too young.
You know
Tatum
what?
was there. They couldn't make it 3. That was game 7.
You know
They
what?
couldn't make
I'm gonna retract that statement because you're right. It would have been personal for him. It was that first year out of Cleveland too, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not saying LeBron was gonna win, but nobody
It would have been
downplays
personal.
LeBron's victory. How he downplaying these Celtics victories because they ain't have Porzingis, and Al Horford ain't Porzingis, bro. If Porzingis out there, maybe they would have swept through. I don't know because Miami beat them with Porzingis.
I mean, the Celtics they were the better team, like all around the board. They were the better team against the Pacers. Even if Tyrese was there, that's why I picked it 7 because they probably went back and forth. But
I didn't think it was
just the
back and
better
forth.
team.
I thought the Celtics was going to win that.
No, I thought it was going 7 because I thought the Celtics they fought the guys.
Yeah, and they didn't. That's where they shocked me more so because they didn't take their foot off the gas. Even in the games where it looked like they took their foot off the gas, I guess they got an EV motor because they hit it again and they just took off and won the game.
And then D White, first player in NBA history. Hold on, let me make sure I got this right. First, D White, I think they correct me wrong. I think he's the first player in conference finals history to average 2 blocks per game, 2 steals per game, and 2 threes a game.
You're right.
So shout out to Derek White. So man, they got a squad. And by the way, come on, Lisa. You let Al Horford talk, bro. Come on. Can we let Derek White get the mic? He hit the game winning shot. And we're gonna let Al Horford talk only because he's the oldest dude. He's the oldest dude in the league who haven't won a chip. Then he shouldn't talk then. It's a reason why he's in that situation. Let D White talk. Sorry, Al Horford. I just had to do that. But she called Al Horford. I'm like, bro, D White just hit the game winning 3. Let that man talk.
He's the oldest dude in the league, Joe. They got to talk to him. He might not come back next year. This might be the last interview. Yeah, this might be it.
But sorry, y'all. I know we rapping. Last I'm gonna say. Last year, 2 years ago, when the Celtics beat the Warriors, I said this on when I was doing Refuse to Lose. Al Horford cried. Sorry, when the Celtics beat Miami.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what you over there drinking, sir?
My bad. When they beat Miami, about to play the Warriors, right? I said this on the show. Al Horford crying. You know, they all celebrating. Yeah! Then I watched the Warriors beat Mavericks. They like, man, it's another man. Come on, man. It's another. We can't wait to play. We got a job to finish. I was like, yeah, the Celtics lost, bro. They won a championship. I hope it was crying. But when they won this time, yeah, they celebrated in the locker room, but nobody cried. They interviewed Al Horford. He like, yeah, man, we got more to do. We ain't come this far for this. You know, JB like, hey, man, I don't win nothing, but look, man, we got more to do. I'm just glad we won. So this is a different mindset. Celtics, man, they might win this year, but we're gonna talk about that later.
Hey, man, it's a Super Bowl for some people. It's just a game for us. Talk about the shows, Joe.
Shout out. Yeah, Curry, that was a golden line right there. All right, y'all. So look, we have a plethora of shows, y'all.